Okay, looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live session presented by myself, Martin Victor, an IDP certified IELTS trainer with over 8 years of experience, and my IELTS tutor, the premium online. Excuse me one moment. I had to turn down the volume of my phone. Again, myself, I am Martin Victor, and I'm with my IELTS tutor, the premium online IELTS coaching service. So I want to thank you for joining me. We have about 4 people joining. Go ahead. You have, those of you who have joined, please say hello. It'd be nice to see who's joined me today. If you joined me before, welcome back. It's nice to see you. If this is your first time, welcome. Please follow me here on YouTube every Wednesday at 5 o'clock, where I talk about IELTS. I've talked about IELTS speaking. Now I'm talking about IELTS writing. And then I'm sure I'll talk about more about different aspects of IELTS in the future. So good to have you here. We're waiting for some more people to show up. Again, do say hello. It'd be nice to hear from you. And if you have questions, please ask. And at the end of the presentation, I will have about 5 minutes to answer any questions you may have. But I do ask that you keep it on topic for writing, okay, rather than say asking me questions about reading or speaking. I ask that you keep the questions on topic, because that's the focus for this live session. So again, those who have joined, hello, Sarab, nice to see you. I think you've been here before. I seem to recognize your name, so welcome back. Okay, so today, the last few sessions, I've been talking about IELTS writing, task 2, the essay. I talked about how to understand the essay prompt, how to write a good introduction. And then last week I talked about how to plan your essay. If you haven't watched those videos, I really recommend that you do, because it will give you good strategies, good tips to follow in handling this task. I think this is one of the most, for a lot of students, this is one of the most difficult tasks to master for IELTS. But once you understand what you need to do, it really isn't hard to master once you have, especially in terms of task achievement. If you're lacking in grammar and vocabulary, those can be easily worked on and improved. And with practice, you can get higher band scores. But usually what happens is the student doesn't really know how to handle the essay itself. But once you understand those tips and such, it becomes really very easy. And I really recommend you watch the videos from the last few weeks, last 3 weeks, including today. Next week, I'm going to talk about how to write your conclusion. Conclusion is important, but today I'm going to talk about how to write your body paragraphs. Now, the body paragraphs are important because they make up the meat of the essay. So think of an essay as the sandwich. You have your introduction. That's one slice of bread. You have the conclusion. That's the other slice of bread. And in between, you have the body paragraphs. That might be the meat or the vegetables, the cheese, the sauce that really makes it tasty, and all those things that really support and give flavor to your essay and give substance to your essay. So the body paragraphs are really important, and I'll go into a little bit of why. So we got some more people. Do say hello. Excuse me. It would be nice to see who's here and who's joined me. So let's begin. Now, the purpose of the body paragraphs, okay? I talked about they are kind of the meat of your essay sandwich, there. So, but the body paragraphs provide the means for the following. First, it provides the means for supporting your thesis, which is your opinion about the topic, and that's very important. You have to give an opinion about the topic, and you have to support that, show support for that opinion. So for your thesis, and that's where the body paragraphs come into play. Moreover, you may be asked to discuss different views, viewpoints, or advantages and disadvantages, or say discussing problems and solutions. So your body paragraphs are devoted to those, discussing those aspects. So that's the purpose. So that's what the body paragraphs provide. They provide the means for supporting your thesis and discussing views or ideas that are requested of you. Okay. And finally, they play a primary role in the structure of your essay. And paragraphing is important. Okay. If you do not paragraph, you will not score above band 4 in coherence and cohesion. Paragraphing is essential to score above 4 in coherence and cohesion. That's one of the band scores for writing. Okay, so you do need to write paragraphs. So now let's move on. Now, and that's another aspect. The bulk of the score of your score is based on the body paragraphs, and this makes sense. I talked about the body paragraphs being the meat of your essay sandwich, being the stuffing of your essay sandwich, the substance of your essay. Okay, that's where you're going to spend most of your time writing. You're not going to spend a lot of time writing in your introduction or your conclusion. All your ideas, all your points, all the details, all the examples are going to be in the body paragraphs. And so that's where the bulk of the score for your work is going to be. Okay. So, and again, if you don't have no body paragraphs, or you're going to have a lower score in terms of task achievement. If you don't paragraph, you're going to have a lower score in cohesion and coherence. So it's really important that you write paragraphs, particularly body paragraphs. Now, moving on, the elements, before we talk about anything about the body paragraphs, it's important to know that a strong body paragraph has certain elements to it. Okay, it's important that each body paragraph have these elements. If you don't, then you don't have a strong body paragraph. And what you want for your essay are strong body paragraphs. So now let's talk about that. The first element is unity. This means that the paragraph focuses on one central idea or point. It doesn't talk about many different ideas that are lumped together, but they're focused on one central idea. This could be a viewpoint and reasons behind a viewpoint. It could be talking about advantages of something, or disadvantages, or the problems of something, or the solutions to those problems. Or it could be a point you have that supports your thesis. But the bottom line, in terms of unity, your paragraph needs to focus on one central idea and nothing else, okay? The next thing is development. The central idea should be explained within the sentences of the paragraph. It should be thoroughly explained, okay? And this includes using description, reasons for something, examples to illustrate, okay? So development is important in terms of a strong body paragraph. And finally, there is coherence. This means that the idea should be explained in a way that is clear and logical, meaning that it's easy to follow and easy to understand. And the reader clearly understands what you're trying to convey. So those are the three elements: unity, development, and coherence of a strong body paragraph. Now, I want to give you an example of a body paragraph that doesn't have these elements, or lacks these elements, rather, one or more. So here we go. So this is an example of a poor body paragraph. So I want to give you some time to read, but you can see. So go ahead and read this. Okay, hopefully you guys have had enough time to read that. It's not very long. Now, I'm going to, you see the one sentence that's highlighted, that's in red. I want to explain that in a second here, but unity, we're talking about unity. And so here it features an idea that more than one idea, or it discusses a side issue. So, you know, here the main idea is inflation causing a family to have two earners, to have two breadwinners. But this idea is talking about depression and disorders that arise from it. It's not, it's related, but it's not directly related to how inflation affects a family financially, that causes them to have two breadwinners, two earners. So it's just talking about, so this paragraph lacks unity. Then the idea is not fully developed. There's no examples to illustrate the effects of inflation or an explanation of why it forces a family to have both adults earn. So it's lacking development. Finally, because there's lack of development and discusses side issues, it does not explain the idea in a clear and logical way. It just doesn't make sense. It's kind of jumping from idea to idea. They're related, but they're not directly related, okay? There's no progression of the idea to where we can really understand it as we read. Now, moving on, I have the same idea in a paragraph, but it's rewritten, and it'll show you, and it lacks all the elements. I mean, this not lacks, but has all the elements. So this is a good example of a body paragraph. So go ahead, I'll give you some time to read this, and then we'll take a closer look. Wow, we have 16 people today. Great. Do say hello for those of us who for those of you who have joined. Also, if you have questions, please feel free to ask questions. At the end, I will have a question and answer period. But please keep your questions to the topic, which is IELTS writing, but primarily the essay. Okay, so you should hopefully have had enough time to read this paragraph. Now, here we have unity. It's focused on a single idea, and this is how inflation forces a family to have two earners. It doesn't talk about anything else, but it's focused solely on that idea. Second, the development. If you've read it, you can see that it gives a clear description of the effect of inflation. It gives an example to illustrate, and then discusses the consequence of inflation. So here it's really well developed. Then we have coherence. It's easy to follow, it's clear, logical, and does not deviate from the main idea. It does not talk about anything outside the main idea. Okay, so that's an good example of a body paragraph that has all three elements: unity, development, and coherence. Now, let's talk about the types of body paragraphs, because this is important to know, because these will help you in particular in terms of the essay types that you'll be asked to do. Now, we have two types of body paragraphs. The first one is a single idea body paragraph. Our example was a good example. The body paragraph from the previous slide was a good example of this type of body paragraph. Now, this discusses of a single main idea, and it's used for essay prompts that ask you to basically what extent you agree or disagree. That's the type of essay, that's the type of body paragraph essay that you want to use this particular paragraph for. Okay, so then we have multiple idea body paragraphs. Now, multiple idea body paragraphs are not random ideas. They're related to one particular point. And we could be talking about reasons, we could be talking about advantages, we could be talking about problems or solutions and things like that. And we'll get to that in a second. So these discuss ideas that are related to a certain point. Okay, so for instance, advantages. Here you're talking about the advantages of something or the disadvantages of something. You may be talking about the problems regarding a particular issue, or the solutions to a particular issue, for example. Now, these are best for discussing two viewpoints. You'll have one paragraph each, for the two views. You'll have for advantage and disadvantage essay prompts, or problem and solution essay prompts. So those are the type of essay prompts you want to use multiple idea paragraphs, body paragraphs. Now, let's take a closer look at these, okay? Now, the single idea body paragraph, again, focus on a single idea. It must support using the following, okay? It must support this idea using the following: reasons, examples, and results. So reasons, examples, and results, okay? Then we have a suggested format for this, okay? So suggested format is basically in sentence wise. So the first sentence is stating the idea. State what the idea is, the central idea. Then give a reason or reasons. And this could be one or two sentences, for example. Then your third sentence would be giving an example. And then fourth, showing the consequences or results of the example, for instance, okay? And then the fifth, provide a conclusion, okay? So that's how you want to handle this. So this is a structure, structure or format rather, for a single idea body paragraph. Now, let's move on to so this is an example of a single idea body paragraph. So I'll give you some time to read this over really quickly so you can get an idea. So here the main idea is allowing children to make choices builds confidence. The second sentence here is basically a reason. The third sentence kind of expands on that reason. And then the fourth sentence gives a example. And then the fifth sentence continues with that. It kind of gives the consequence of that example. And then number 5, the final sentence rather, gives a conclusion. Okay, so this is a good example. Again, this is a good example of a single idea body paragraph. Now, for multiple idea body paragraphs, and this is what we're looking at. You want to feature 2 to 3 ideas or points that are focused on a central idea. So if you're talking about a viewpoint, give 1, 2, or 3 reasons for that viewpoint. Why do people hold that viewpoint? If you're talking about advantages, 2 to 3 advantages. Same thing for solutions, problems, or disadvantages. Okay? Now, as I show here. Now, the suggested structure for this is basically this. And the length that really, the length really depends on how many ideas you bring into it. So if you have 2 ideas, you'll need less. If you have 3, maybe you'll have a little bit more. Okay, so central idea. The first sentence, it will always be your central idea. So if it's about a viewpoint, you're going to state the viewpoint. If it's about the advantages of something, you'll make a general statement about the advantages. So such as there are several advantages for this, for example. Okay, just to give you an idea. Now the second sentence would be your supporting point or advantage or disadvantage, etc., like that. The third sentence will be the explanation of your point. And then it just kind of follows, this pattern here, depending on the number of ideas. So the fourth sentence, supporting point, fifth sentence, explanation of that point, and then 6th, supporting point, 7th, explanation. But the final sentence should always be a summary of all the points. You want to summarize all the points, okay? So that's what you want to, that's how you want to handle this type of paragraph. So your first sentence will always be a statement about the central idea. Then you'll kind of alternate between supporting point, then explanation of point, and kind of do that until you cover all the points that you want to discuss. And then finally, you want to summarize the points. Now, this is an example of a multiple idea body paragraph. So the first sentence here is talking about this is the viewpoint. So in support of including global news for students, there are several reasons. So the first sentence is first reason. Then we have an example that's given that's basically explaining it. This is carried on by the third sentence as well. Then we have the fourth sentence, another aspect of teaching use. That's another example. And then we have our final sentence. This can lead to discussions about, so this is basically a summary. This can be both a summary and explanation of the second of the two reasons, as well as, no, this is really a example of the explanation of the second point. This is missing a summary of the 2 points. So I do forgive me for that. Okay, but this for the most part, this is a good example of the multiple idea body paragraph. Now, how to write. Now, so in review, remember, strong body paragraphs have the following elements. There's unity. The paragraph focuses on one central idea. Development. The idea should be explained within the sentences of the body paragraphs. And coherence. The idea should be explained in a way that is clear and logical. And so we have here a single body paragraph, multiple idea body paragraph. You know, we want to include reasons, examples, and results. Our structure is as follows. State the idea, give reasons or reason, give example, show results and consequence, make a conclusion. And then for multiple idea body paragraph, we want to talk about 2 to 3 ideas, structure, main idea, supporting point, explanation point, supporting point, explanation point, so on and so forth, and then summary of points. So that's your structure for both of these. If you use these, if you follow these structures here, you will write really good body paragraphs, and this will really help you in terms of task achievement and coherence and cohesion, okay? And this will really help to improve your score to 6.5, 7, 7.5, and so on and so forth, okay? So follow these tips. Now, that's it for today. Okay, so we have, it looks like a question. Okay, Abe writes a introduction. Nowadays, globalization has been affected the lifestyle of people due to the hikes in the economy. Thus, all family members are contributing to the I think it needs work there, Abe. It's not bad, but I think it needs work. And I really recommend that you watch the video I did 2 weeks ago about how to write an introduction, okay? I really recommend that you watch that video because I explain exactly how to write the video. Write the introduction. Do we have any other questions? So if you have questions, please quickly write them. If not, then we'll move on. So, but it's really nice to be here with you guys. I enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys have learned a lot from this, because the goal here is really to help you guys write good, excellent essays that will achieve top scores. And if you follow these, you are on the road to doing that. And so all you need to do is then work on grammar and vocabulary, and then you're getting there. And you just have to practice. And for writing, I really recommend that you practice writing daily. Practice writing daily. If you do that, your writing will really take off, okay? You will really start to see improvements when you write daily, okay? And you can write daily, you can write in many ways. You're welcome, Sarah. So if you write daily, as I said, your writing will take off. But make sure that at the same time that when you write, you also take the time to edit your work. That way you can be aware of the mistakes you're making and then correct them. Okay, so looks like we don't have any more questions. Let's move on because I want to talk about My IELTS Tutor. And so, as I said, My IELTS Tutor is the premium online IELTS training platform. This is some of the reasons why. You know, these are the things we offer our students. For instance, this live session is part of that. Every Wednesday, I put on a live session. I put out reels every week. So we're always giving our students ideas on an almost a daily basis. We're providing this, not just, and this is outside of sessions too. So the bottom line is we really want our students to achieve, and we're going to do everything we can to help them achieve. And so we have all these available for our students, and even those people who aren't our students but want to learn. And so that's what we do. But the one thing that really sets us apart, you know, besides being online, is that we offer small group and individualized training. This is far superior, far more advantageous than going to a brick and mortar institute where you sit in a classroom with 20 to 30 students and you're not getting the attention that you need. And you need that attention. And we at My IELTS Tutor understand that. And so we work with you in either small groups or one-to-one between tutor and students. So if you came to so for instance, if you were to ask for me as a tutor, I would, you know, and you wanted one-to-one sessions, you would have my complete attention on you. Okay. And so, and another thing, because we have small group sessions, individual training, we're really able to focus on developing a customized studying plan for you, which takes into account both your weaknesses, which we work to build and strengthen and enhance, as well as maintain your strengths. And so that's what makes us stand apart from any other institute. We focus on you, the individual, not you as a class collectively. And I've worked in brick and mortar institutes, and they tend to follow the same pattern. The student comes in, but you using the same material, it gets regurgitated. You know, you might, and here we use fresh material a lot. We spend time with you. We don't just sit there and lecture. We spend time with you. We show you. We show you the strategy. We help you. We explain to you the strategies. And that's what we do. Okay. And you're very welcome, Saurabh. Now, My IELTS Tutor, these are the principal tutors, myself, Nana, and Ms. Amita. Together we have over 30 years of, around 30 years of experience, and we're committed to helping you. And so here are some of our recent scores of our students. And one of the things that we do is all our strategies, everything that we do is designed to get you to 8 bands and above. And so that's our primary goal, is to get you to 8 bands and above. So a lot of institutes will focus on, 6.5, 6, 6.5, 7. We're not satisfied with that. We want 8 bands for all of our students. And so we're committed to doing everything that we can to help you achieve that. So this means that your bands are our responsibility. That's right. Your bands are our responsibility, and we're going to do everything we can to help you achieve that goal. Okay? And so that's it for today. I want to thank you for joining us. Certainly a pleasure having you today. Be sure to follow us here on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. If you want more information on My IELTS Tutor, if you want to train for IELTS with trained and certified IELTS tutors like myself, click on the button below and one of our representatives will get in touch with you as soon as possible. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys next week.